And hey, also, time for some more Tale of Three Dragons. Our patron, Legacy Pathfinder, Gestalt, Path of War, Drow Noble, Dragon Empires, and other tags as well. Game, Ross and Tiki are the two most amazing people on planet Earth. Thank you guys so much for your support. Last week's session was, like I was telling the guys, I'm still kind of coming down from it. It was...
Did we level up for last week's session?
Yes.
Oh crap, I didn't put that in. I gotta take care of that.
Yeah, hurry up.
Good thing we don't get any feats.
Yeah. Good thing the caster doesn't just tick up into a new tier of spells and suddenly has to pick a bunch of new ones. It's cool. There probably won't be any combat today.
I mean, it's not like I can do anything with my wizard levels because...
Because of NT.
That is kind of something that needs to be fixed. I mean, sure, you get casting from both sides, but the not being able to get... when we're out of this hell...
Well, I guess since we're out of the hellscape now, they'll probably be a bit more fixed, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. Anywho, like I said, we're still kind of reeling from the events of last session. Last session was very good, and we were playing an N64 game, and we've jumped forward a little bit. We're going to go back and forth around a little. But the party is now free of their curse, which wasn't even really a curse. The party has, in a very well-done fashion, they've named themselves, no longer wasting away, body and soul soon to be connected, whole once again. And I'll let Ross choose the dice that I roll for the in-character reflection for the hero point.
100.
All right. Evens is you, odds is Anru. Shabam. 16! You did. Wait, yeah, that is a 16. 10 plus 6 is 16. It also reads a 16 on the thing. Taraska's first. Take it away, my friend.
Alrighty then. Well, we live to see another day. To be honest, I don't know if I was actually expecting that power to work, or if I was just expecting it to just stutter and die. The sheer fact that I somehow forced a name upon myself is concerning, but it's still comforting to know that I can do it, I guess. Either way, we need to keep moving. Hopefully we can catch back up with our friends, and then we have a very tender reunion with this so-called Master of Fire. He's toyed with one too many lives. He could attack ours all he wanted. But upon hearing him going out of the way to slaughter and use those that we aided as material for his war goals, he shall be brought to justice. For everything shall find balance as the teacher teaches, and apparently he needs to be cut down to size a bit.
Well done. And take that hero point, new Magus, and the pun from being a small creature saying...
I've been a Magus.
Well, level 2 in a level 8 game is still new. Fledgling Magus.
Fair.
I'll also say that Lucia and I watched a lot of game theory, and we watched the Death Note one not that long ago, so I'm still, every time I hear justice, it's just, justice! Anyway, take that hero points. Yeah. And my friend and Tiki, you're on.
And the world has just given me a reason and justification to do what Drow do best. And kill things from the darkness with great speed. So, this seems like a trap. Because things that seem too easy or just handed over to you tend to be traps. And, well, I can't say I'm not excited I get to fight someone. I can't say that I don't have positive feelings about this fight, considering I am going to do horrible things to this person for what he did to my people. And I'm going to teach him the true meaning behind you don't mess with my people or my stuff. If anyone thought the kukri was bad, the things that I do to this so-called Fire Lord shall be written down as legend.
Good, good. Take that hero point, and of course, gotta tie that kukri back in. We're gonna find that kukri at some point. Maybe not this game, maybe like 3 games down. A kukri comes back to Tiki and is bonded to you evermore. And, with no further ado, you boys wake up on the deck of your ship. The first feeling that you hear Akane, Hero, who well and truly remains awakened, and Keelan all just kind of groan as you come back to reality. Still got gravity, but also all of you are very badly sunburned.
Wait, am I sunburned? I have
Yes.
fur.
I'm pretty sure you can get sunburned. I can Google, can cats get sunburned? I'm pretty sure under fur you can still get
I'm
sunburned.
a rat.
Well, there's bits of you that aren't, like, furry, like your hands, for example.
Fair.
And, like, your
Then I have
ears. Oh,
gloves.
Jesus, ow. Ow.
Oh.
God damn it. That messed me up.
Ah.
You guys are also incredibly hungry, the both of you. It's hard to say how long you guys have been sitting on this boat. You definitely figured out you're in a mindscape, and the only rule in mindscapes really is that there are no rules. And so it could have been days, it could have been weeks, it could have been even longer. Judging by the hunger, though, it's definitely been a little bit. Akane stands up, stretches his shoulders, just, oh! Is this real? There's a one. Wanru. Are you hurt?
Yeah.
Physically, no.
I've never felt better.
Yeah, you guys definitely
Standing
do
up
feel
is-
a lot better. You like I was telling Tiki before Ross was here, you ever take a nap and then you wake up from that nap an hour later feeling considerably worse? I did that today. But it's the opposite for you guys. After waking up, it's first sunburn followed by lighter, almost. As if the weight of the world has been picked up from your shoulders. When you stand up, there's considerable less effort involved to pick yourselves up. And when you expect the world to pitch a little, it fails to do so.
As I stand up, I pull out the oar, swing it around in the traditional fashion, and slam it to the deck and start turning the boat around.
Okay. You are definitely able to do so. Actually, the percentage dice will decide if this happens. That seems flavorful. It says 11, but it's a 47. Okay, so as you go to spin the oar, the oar. I pictured O-R-E as I said it. The oar spins out of your hand, and then as it does so, the Nagaji spirit forms, continues to spin it, and slams it. And now that you guys have seen her in the dreamscape, you recognize or rather you haven't seen her, you've seen her scales. Her scales are an exact match to what you saw. That fateful encounter in the village, the boat picks up, heading back in the direction of the mainland. You continue to, as you go over sandbars and around and truly over and sometimes under islands, a la Rainbow Road, it up and down and banks a little.
Well, welcome back.
The Nagaji turns and she smiles. It's kind of... You guys would know to recognize it as a smile. She is reptilian. She lacks lips. So it's hard to communicate that so much as her eyes kind of light up a little bit. Keelan begins mage-handing things on the boat, poking them as if to make sure this is real. Meanwhile, Hero has moved to the front of the ship, the wind in his mane, just, yes!
I just kind of look to Hero. Oh. It looks like the awakening spell continues to work even here.
It has, little one.
It's permanent.
It's permanent. Throws his mane.
I was afraid that perhaps the dreamscape would make it not work.
Well, Keelan pipes up, that is usually the case. When we dream things, they don't happen in the real world, but you guys were so closely tied to that I have to imagine you had more power in this world in that world than you normally have in this world. Both of you guys actually also, as the boat picks up in the direction of the mainland, you guys have put yourselves back together a little bit. A lot of repressed memories have come to the full
Sorry.
What's up? Why do you apologize?
That was Tarask apologizing for that. It's a joke.
Oh, fair.
The reddest Canadian.
No good. Kane will be pleased.
I have never hidden my Canadian heritage. I've never been to Canada, but apparently it flows within me.
Canada flows within my veins.
I must have been born underneath a particularly strong Canadian wind or something like that.
Born beneath the sign of the maple leaf.
Yes, the apology flows strong within you.
Spirit animal is moose. Anywho. So, you guys kind of around the same time, and you find that you still can, finish each other's sentences in your heads. A residual effect of what happened to you. You remember tales of a powerful Nagaji wizard. Master of wind, master of the elements, master of bending time and space to suit her whims. And bits and pieces of her sacrifice that day the village was attacked to ensure the children escaped. Something about how her mastery of wind turned aside the arrows that would pierce the children's hearts, but failed to stop the ones that pierced her own, and when the teleportation spell brought the three of you back to Mount Kumijinja, it brought her back as a corpse. Apparently that wasn't good enough for this woman, and she's returned in undeath to see to it that you are shepherded where you need to go safely, while still following the teachings of the monastery and training.
That's encouraging. I'm gonna kind of
have sudden inspiration. Going to translate, but keep talking.
Kind of reach into my pocket as we're kind of pulling along and just pull out the scales from the dreamscape. Do I still have them?
Yes, you do.
Just pull out the scales, kind of show them to her and say, "Thank you."
Alrighty.
Akane.
Yes!
Rocks. I point to the deck.
He picks them up. Just whoop.
No, I'm telling him to put rocks there.
No, and so he does. At once. He begins setting them up along the sides of the ship, so he can basically serve as a mobile catapult.
Oh, no. That's not what I'm doing. Okay. I would direct him to put them in a flat layer so that no gaps can reach the bottom, and then put another layer on top so that we can make a cooking fire on the boat.
Ah, nice, fair enough. Okay, I'm sorry, I thought we were going to fight more scary monsters. Okay, good, I will make a fire. And he does so. Also, both of you would know the Nagaji, her name is Ibu, which is, in her language, it means mother.
Of course.
Same. Damn it. Thanks. Akane sets up the fire.
Stop making the watchers sleepy.
And stop cursing.
I said cursing. Damn, it's not that bad. I simply wish to ensure the water does not spill into the valley and drown the village.
Giving you crud. But yeah, I'll kind of just hand to her the scales and say, "Thank you."
She, again, incapable of smiling as she has no lips. Her eyes just kind of light up a little bit. She tries to retrieve the scales, but of course her hand goes through yours. Instead, she just bows.
I would start pulling out supplies and starting to cook for everyone, because we have been, unconscious for a while.
Yeah, you guys are pretty hungry. The boat goes pretty fast, and it's around the time that dinner is made, now that you don't have to pick your way around the wandering isles and can just, rainbow road over. You reach mainland Tiansha, and the boat stops as the party sets down to eat. Akane, in very Goku-esque fashion, begins tearing into his food. Keelan eats at a much more delicate rate. Hiro may be awakened, still he only eats horse food, and somehow is more majestic as his head goes down to eat the oats. Throws his mane back. The wind seems to catch it just so.
Looking to Hiei.
Hiei is not
So-
here. Hiei was here in the dreamscape. Hiei is not here on the boat.
Okay. Well, looking to where he should be. We are missing one. Maybe we will catch up to him, because he did hear what we heard and knows that we need to go avenge our brothers.
Just kind of a rip off the flesh and then just... Oh. No, yeah, we should be able to catch up to him soon. Ugh.
You guys would know that
Right.
Hiei is waiting in Ramparassad.
It's a good thing we got souls. I don't think we need to worry about Pharasma coming after us now, hopefully not. Or at the very least, if our agents do come for us now, we don't need to worry about it. I say, kind of looking over to Honor.
Well, maybe not need to worry about that, but they may still have words with us about our previous state.
Also, there is a ghost on board.
Yes.
Oh. What
So we
ghost? It's just a magical boat. I kind of look over to where there's no... I hope the ghost would be smart enough to disappear.
Instead, she can't make noise. She cannot laugh, but her tongue darts out a little faster, and like you imagine, like a kind of noise, as if almost like panting, as a serpentine creature would laugh. She then disappears.
See? Everything's good.
I'd collect the boat and the oar, put them in a safe place.
Okay, you guys are still on the boat.
Well, after you said we reached mainland, you literally said we reached mainland.
Right, but you didn't dock. You didn't dock.
Okay.
To dock on the mainland. To dock on the mainland now would be just like go out in the rainforest again.
Okay, well, never mind then.
Okay.
Then we would continue around.
Okay. In that case, where would you boys? You guys know that Hiei is waiting in Ramparassad. You know
We'd be heading for Ramparassad.
Okay, got it. You guys reach Ramparassad. It takes the night to get back around up the river to land in the city, and you guys arrive the next day. If you two could make perception checks for me. No disadvantage this time. That part of the campaign is over.
That's for me. And then, of course, I have my good old-fashioned Farron just kind of being like, yo, I haven't leveled up in like 3 levels now, but I still have a plus 18 to perception.
That's right. He still sees all the things.
He does. Okay, so as you guys pull in, Ramparassad, the last time you guys were here, was a city of wonderful smells and sounds and sights, and that hasn't really changed, but the wonderful has gone from an exotic melting pot of cultures celebrating the gift of elemental magic in the form of various kineses to a city of refugees. The docks are lined with just the most ramshackle, shoddy boats you guys have ever seen. Several people line the docks, line the streets in shoddy clothing. Some, and you recognize maybe not individuals, but it's hard to see everybody moving around, but it is not hard to see a Gripply that has climbed up the side of a building and is huddled against it. What has, again, once been a very happy place has now become a city of refugees. It would be hard to dock the boat if the boat didn't just fold up and go in your inventory when you were not using it. As you begin making your way, like as you disembark, several individuals come up to you. The sounds are overwhelming in all the various TN dialects, people, and some tribal creatures. You actually, as you turn the corner, you hear the slosh of the water before you see the Kappa holding up its hands, hungry, thirsty, desperate. It's pretty hard to move through here. Akane gets real uncomfortable real fast as a bunch of people enter his bubble. Keelan's hand goes down to her kukri, but she doesn't do anything. Hero will still accept riders. Continues at this point to just kind of not look awakened and just trot along.
How much money do we have left?
How much money do we have? Let me just quickly see. 1,849 gold is how much gold I still have in my inventory.
All right. A day's food is about 2 copper for at least moderate amounts.
Yeah, something like that.
You know, so 5 people per gold piece for a meal. So if we can actually find some place that actually still has supplies, we can at least pay for quite a few of these beggars to have a meal.
Hold on a second. Let me check something.
Unless you have create food
I was
and water
just about
mass.
to say, I'm gonna look that up to see what levels. I can create food and water. It's a 3rd level spell. I would need some time to pray, though. You know?
Okay.
Like, I need... And that only,
Yeah,
that
but how
only
many can you
provides
feed with that?
3 people, so it's not that effective.
Which is why I was saying take about 100 gold worth of gold and buy,
Yeah.
5 per silver, so 50 per gold piece. That's 100 gold. That's 5,000 people could be fed off 100 gold.
That's very fair. Yes, they could. Okay. You guys could probably find a place. It's a little hard to pick your way through, but like Akane is pretty imposing, and Donner's carrying a double-bladed scythe. People will get out of the way, especially like 1 in every 100 is a Kappa or Grizzly that seems to recognize you. As you begin poking your way through like sake houses and places to like get food and stuff, most of the places are pretty packed. Most of the places are ready, willing, and able to give up what they have for these people. But there are definitely some places out there that are still putting profit before humanitarian work. And that amount of gold does feed. It's a drop in a bucket. But
yeah,
it's a start. It's basically just like rice and fish, but it's much better than the nothing they have as you go to distribute this stuff. And
I imagine it's just kind of walk into the... I want to RP this out a bit. I want to walk into the merchant stalls. Like, do I see them kind of just like...
Most of the stalls are closed because like it's hard to set up a stall in like a bazaar kind of thing when the city is as full as it is. Because no one's going to access the stall. It's been just like the people who want to save their money have closed up shop and gone home with their stuff. Everyone else has handed everything out that they have. But there are, like, those buildings aren't far.
Alright, then.
I think we should make a detour to the warehouse section. Maybe there's some that's still being stored that we can purchase in bulk. Even if we were just to buy bags of dry rice and hand it out to people to cook.
I agree.
Okay, you guys are able to do so. Along the way, you definitely... As you walk through the streets, again, Akane basically pulling the party through because people will get out of the way of his size. You pass a pretty fancy... what am I trying to say? I don't know the exact... I'm going to say, like... A really fancy, like, bar and grill, basically. Its doors have been boarded. There are a couple of bigger humans with spears standing outside, and a crowd of, about 20 to 30 people stands about 15 feet away from this place looking in as the, essentially, bouncers look out. One of them recognizes you, too. The two of you recognize him. He's a little smaller, especially for his race, but he was one of the brighter Gripply, who more quickly adapted to the secret of fire, and just comes up, "Cat God! They have food! They will not feed us! We are starving! The fireman has come! The fireman has killed everyone!"
The cat god will step down and say, "I am aware of this. Me and my servants shall make this right. And then I'll just kind of look over to Anru and say, how about just I head inside?
I don't think that's going to happen. Whilst I trust your diplomacy skills, if things get out of hand, I will end them quickly.
Who's to say I cannot take care of myself now? I say, kind of just reaching over to the blade on my hip.
Looking to him, you may be able to handle yourself, but you're what I have left to call family.
Must make this difficult for me, but okay, let us go.
Keelan leans forward as you two are talking. Just as much as I would love to just turn invisible, open the back door, let these people know, and do what's right, I don't think killing people would be the best idea right now. The last thing we need is a riot. Honestly,
I hold up a hand as if
all of Ramparassad seems to be
that
powder
idea
keg right now.
I just kind of hold up a hand. That idea never crossed my mind, Keyleth.
Nor mine, actually.
You said end them.
I said end it.
Oh. Well, forgive me, she nods.
It's
looking,
okay.
Looking to her, believe me, I realize my bloodthirsty appearance.
Appearance, I say, kind of just raising an eyebrow at that one word.
Well, she is a dark elf. They're not exactly known for their friendliness.
It's the addition of the word appearance at the end of that kind of makes me this a bit of a grin.
Well, it's generally the people that deserve it, is it not?
I'll give you that much, yes. So let's go inside. For that, I'm gonna head on inside myself.
Okay. So you guys approach the building, and as you do so, the two guards, they spear and big shield lock their spears in that X right to bar passage, and just 5 gold to enter.
5?
Really?
Yes.
Will we get it on leaving?
No. It's a cover charge.
I'm just gonna make a show of reaching in my bag, pull out 5 gold, and just... how salty do I want to be? I'll pull out 5 gold, shove it in their chest, in the one that's closest to me's chest, and say, good to know that you care more for money than you do lives. Now move.
Each, Nizumi. I count 4 of you.
Only 2 of us are entering.
Are you
Another
sure?
5.
The Kane looks a little ruffled at the fact that he's being told to stay outside.
Looking up to Akane. Akane,
Yes,
please guard our friends.
of course.
Indicating the Gripply.
He moves back and sets up right next to one of them. He tries to have a conversation with the little guy that only speaks a very primal
Farron would
Gripply.
stay there and help translate.
Farron can't, as Farron is a figment.
Oh, right.
No,
No, Farron
Baron
stay
has
within,
range.
yeah, Farron could stay within, what is it, 50 feet of me?
Is it 50 feet?
Let me check. I gotta go look up the archetype rules for Figment.
Yeah, I got it here.
100 feet, actually.
Okay, never mind. 100 feet's good. I thought it was 30. My bad. Never mind. So in that case, Akane leans down and just, I help you, little frog guy. And then Farron translates, and the Gripply nods and climbs up his chest to kind of just like a papoose up on his tummy and just curl
Farron
in.
will say to him, this one is also another one of my servants.
Much bigger! Very strong, good warrior! Climbs up and just curls up.
Not as good a warrior as the elf, but I hope you will learn.
As we hand off the money to go inside and look at the bouncer, you do realize that each 5 gold can feed 500 people. Or rather, 100 people.
I'm sorry, Elfling. I have orders from my boss. I need my 5 gold to feed my family. And the boss says,
Come now on.
these don't enter.
It's not their fault that they have to do this. I say, kind of looking at her. They are simply following their orders to keep their jobs to afford their own food.
Yeah, they don't look exactly comfortable about it, the 2 guards, but, They'll follow orders.
It's very the more I talk to them, the more I realize these guys are they're doing this because this is their job.
Yeah.
All right, well, head inside then.
All
That's
right.
why.
So you guys head in, and there's a couple of wealthier-looking humanoids sitting around a bar in the center of the room. The bar has built into it. Oh, it's perhaps like these 4 fingers deep into the bar, a little river has been built, and tiny little boats run a loop around. The little current pulls them, and each one of the boats is flat. On top, there are plates. The plates have all manner of not super filling, very, like, small and, what's the word, like, opulent kinds of foods.
Oh, they're hors d'oeuvres.
Yeah, more or less.
More like rich people food.
Yeah.
That's what hors d'oeuvres kind of are?
Like, think like
No, not really.
caviar. Or,
Well, here's the thing. A pig in a blanket is considered to be an hors d'oeuvre. That is just a sausage and a piece of bread. That is not expensive.
a pig in a blanket is
Rich
also
people
very
food
delicious.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
very.
Amazing. Especially if you get like one of those proper like German weenies, like tiny German spicy weenies.
Boy, now getting on with it.
Before we all get too hungry in the middle of the stream here.
But yeah,
Behind the
I can
bar,
imagine.
there's a very large, brown-skinned creature, and you don't notice him so much as you notice the bat wings and the horns first, almost like a Sauron-style crown. There are 4 horns running up him and gigantic bat wings. He towers. He has to kind of like squat almost, like a half like Slav squat to not jam his horns into the roof. 4 arms.
So,
jut
like
from,
a demon?
Yeah. He appears to be some kind of Oni-esque creature. 4 arms come forth from his chest, each holding a pretty large cleaver as he, behind the bar, like, chops up all of his food and serves it for people who don't really seem to acknowledge him. They just talk amongst themselves and take the food.
Alright then. I'll walk towards the bar and kind of just like look to the I would presume the individual to be a chef or something, and say, "Excuse me, sir."
He looks up and, do you speak Abyssal?
I believe I do.
I
Let me
do.
check. Pretty certain I do. You know, my list is so long, I gotta look.
Well, Anru does. So he looks up.
Yes, I do.
I haven't actually chosen all of my additional languages because I've been putting points in linguistics, and I haven't chosen languages for like 3 points now.
Oh my god.
Well, maybe one should be
Speaking of
Abyssal.
which, I also have another language I need to take now, darn it.
No, I already have Abyssal. I have Abyssal, Aklo, Aquan, Orin, excuse me, Celestial, Common, Draconic, Drow Sign Language, Goblin, Ifrit, Infernal, Sylvan, Terran, and Undercommon.
Well done.
I should probably.
I'm running out of choices.
I'm gonna add Undercommon now because that's one of the few I don't have.
Fair enough.
You actually should also be adding Drow Sign Language, considering I've been teaching it to
Oh
you.
yeah.
Yep. So the guy looks up and in Abyssal just, what will it be?
I was hoping to speak to
A
your
word
boss,
with the
actually.
boss.
I say, like, replying to him in Abyssal.
I do not know who that is.
The owner of this establishment? I say, with a bit of confused tilt.
He shrugs his top 2 arms and his wings come up. I do not know who that is. Now that you're a little closer, both of you can see around his feet there is a... well, Anru pings it first as you guys get a little closer. The Detect Magic grabs it and...
Yeah, Detect Magic.
And the cleric in the party doesn't need to, like, identify a summoning circle. It appears that whatever this thing is seems to be some kind of demon. Based on its dialect, it's been summoned and bound
Oh my god, to be a chef?
to be a chef.
Oh my god. I feel terrible for this thing.
It looks up again.
Demonic slave labor.
Yes.
Delightful. Mutter. Either way, I kind of just like look around to the rest of the people and say, "Excuse me, Any of you all happen to know who the owner of this establishment is?
They lackadaisically look up in your direction. And one of them, what race haven't I used? Okay, so one of them, as they look up, the violet eyes strike the both of you pretty piercingly. And both of you would know, especially being friends with Kiyomi, that's the telltale mark of this human-appearing person is a kitsune. She looks up and just, that would be me. Can I help you?
Yes. We'd like to have a conversation with you.
Aren't you already?
Very well. How much to buy out all the food supplies that this bar currently has?
She looks at you, like, as she does so, she, as if to lose control.
Holding up a finger. All of the food supplies that's actually worth something to people that are starving outside. The little pieces of fish that you charge several gold for, no.
As you guys say this, what were you going to say, Ross? Something about actually...
I mean, I imagined that she could see, like, the pearls of power and the very nice sword on my head.
Yeah, she can, and she polymorphs back into her fox form so as to have a longer snoot to look down her nose and you just... This is my sanctum. What I do here with my supplies is on me. You wish to purchase my food, so be it, but you see, demand in Ramparassad has skyrocketed. I've yet to feed the poor refugees outside my establishment, because I don't need word getting out that I'm handing out food to the homeless lest they storm the place, and
like,
Timpura
very
over
clear,
there,
like...
nodding in the direction of the Oni. Now, well, you know, he does enjoy the flesh of humanoids. Don't you? You giant oaf! She says, looking in his direction, just, yes, mistress. Continues shop record.
Looking to her, and then looking to the demon. You know, if I were to kill the demon, it would actually return him to his home plane. So I don't think he minds if I were to fight it. And that would have you out a demon. So, speak a little less angrily at us, as we're just trying to figure out a way that people aren't going to starve on your doorstep and, you know, stink up the place, since it is considering your sanctuary.
Make a check. Diplomacy or intimidate, your call. Both are fine. Good
I've
cop
got
or bad
both,
cop?
so pick one.
It's up to you, man. Are you good cop or are you bad cop?
She's
I'm
bad
always
cop.
bad cop.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Fair, I don't know why I asked.
I imagine I'm more the... Yeah, Jesus.
Okay. This isn't an opposed save. She's making her own check. All right. Darkling, if you must, take the food somewhere far from here, where these cretins won't realize it came from here. 500 gold will buy out everything I have that's not for the higher-end clients, nodding at the people around her who all nod appreciatively in response to this, and never step foot in my sanctum again.
You're the one that put a price on the entrance fee. Once you have actually put in a price on entering into a building, it's kind of fair game. I bought my way in.
Well, we do have the finest wine in all of Ramparassad. The 5
I'm a
gold,
monk.
it's simply, you know, it. And I realize you're from the Kumijinja Monastery. I recognize that head wrap anywhere. The 5 gold at the door is simply to ensure that the riffraff doesn't come in and stink up the place. My clientele is very discreet.
You know, I think we can all agree that we are not going to find each other's interests in everyone's liking. But I think the 500 gold for the supplies and the request to take those supplies far away is acceptable, especially as out in your front doorstep is not an amicable place to distribute food to refugees.
That is
At this point,
correct.
we'll step over and just start, like, getting out the gold for her and pointing it out on the table in front of her.
Okay. You do so. She snaps her fingers twice, and as that happens, Onru can feel it. Tarask can see it, the summoning circle that binds the creature she refers to as Tempura to its space behind the... Well, rather not behind, but more like in the center of the bar as that like lazy river goes all the way around it. Tempura, bring them the day-old rice. Yes, mistress. The creature teleports and then teleports back into its summoning circle, which then immediately snares it. All 4 of its arms carry about the size of Tarask bags of rice that it just kind of onto the ground. That is what I can spare, noble ones.
Looking to her, do you know anyone else that I might be able to purchase their supplies from?
Ramparassad is a wonderful city, Dark Elf. Food the likes of which you'll find nowhere else in Tian Sha. Of course, I'm sure there are several wonderful establishments such as this place that, serve a higher degree of individuals, but I imagine most of the common taverns have mostly exhausted their wares. It's been a couple weeks now.
At this point,
Yes.
I'm gonna also, while we're talking, reach into my pouch, pull out 5 more gold, and say, another entry fee for one who is able to carry all of these.
She happily takes it and nods.
All right, I'll look to Onru. I think Akane would be.
I'm going to get him.
Yeah.
Heading towards the door.
I imagine that she's kind of like as I reach for the coin pouch again, you're already like walking towards the door, sort of thing.
Yep.
Since we can literally think into each other's mind.
Yep, that's very true. Okay.
Open the door, lean out. Akane, inside, please.
Yes, ma'am. And he trots up, comes into the establishment, sees
wait,
the demon,
wait.
just by the gods!
Without the Gritly.
The Gripply. Yes, little one, there is a demon. Go outside. Outside, the Gripply. The Gripply's never in any danger.
I would speed outside and catch the Gripply, set it down.
And Onru becomes Tiansha's first wide receiver. Fair enough. And this is how football was invented in the Dragon Empires. Well done.
It's frog ball.
Frog ball! Very safe. Gripply are technically tiny creatures. The heaviest one weighs 20 pounds. This one's pretty small. It's almost within the weight limit of, Mage Hand. To just kind of grab and just whip around.
Looking to Farron. Hold on. We passed by probably some places where we'd be able to hand out food, correct?
No, yeah, by all means. The people line the streets.
So, one of the other taverns that was handing out food, I'd tell Farron to have them go to that tavern. We'll meet them there shortly.
Alrighty. It definitely would be more than 100 feet away.
Do such a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. He doesn't have to go. I told him to tell them to go.
Oh, fair. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
We also have Keyleth. We also have Keyleth standing right there.
Yeah, well, I'd have Keela lead them then, too.
Yeah, she definitely, as this conversation, you guys definitely see Keelan, L-I-N, yes. Just kind of her hand running along the blade of her kukri, very, very uncomfortable at everything that's going on here. Just kind of looking for a reason to be as chaotic good as she can be.
Oh boy.
As she has definitely... It's a little out of character for her, the woman who would just as soon cut and run.
Looking to Keelan. Don't worry, we don't have much more to do. After that, we'll have a bit of a talk with the leadership here and probably head out to go kill a fire lord.
Good. These people need help. I can't believe that these damn rich... Ugh. Can't they tell these people are starving?
Well,
yes.
Their appearances seem to be to matter more to them.
Yeah,
And I'd head
Farron
back
just
inside.
says yes.
And as she says this, her hair goes from the default red to just a fiery orange and yellow. Her eyes match the color. She's obviously very incensed.
We've handled the situation. Just lead them to where we'll pass out the food.
All right. I've got it. And she begins, leading the crowd. Just, everyone follow me. I have food. This way. And they quickly, form a pretty big entourage around her as she leads the individuals in the direction of another nearby tavern. Akane begins.
step back
As
and try
Akane
to-
sees the demon, a hand goes to Katana real fast as Demon does the same. Like, the essentially, like, the cleavers in his hands that are about the size of, like, battle axes all come out like this as it looks to defend itself. Is tempura? No. The kitsune snaps its fingers, and as it does so, the thing begins convulsing. As pain racks its body, it grips down harder on most of the cleavers, but one of them clacks down onto the bar, tipping over one of the plates. Food goes everywhere. The patrons find it hilarious. Give the half-giant the food. Yes, mistress. And teleport gives food to Akane. Akane 1, 2, 3, 4 over shoulder and begins just like firemen carrying all this rice out the building. And then the demon teleports back behind the bar and is sealed once again.
You do not, out of character, you do not believe just how much I want to find this thing's binding anchor and free it.
You certainly could. I'm not stopping you.
Actually, probably would be looking for it when I walk back in, detect magic.
Okay, make a perception check. Okay, yeah, sure. You certainly could. It would, honestly, it's just as simple as, like, getting behind the bar and, like, on the circle to break the circle. But this thing, you're not sure exactly what it is. It's clearly from the lower planes. It's clearly much more powerful than a creature, than like the common chef. And that is what it has been bound to do, which would indicate the Kitsune herself is a very powerful spellcaster. And releasing this thing might trigger her ire.
Okay. Looking back to her. PM. Must she really, really do that?
What can I say? The patrons love it when I kick this damn thing around. And you know, it's important we keep creatures like that in their place, lest it believe it's strong enough to... Well, you know, they eat human flesh.
Yes, and my people converse with them quite often.
Your point, Drow?
You're antagonizing it. One of these days it will slip its leash, and you will wish you hadn't.
One of these days it will slip its leash and I will send it back to the abyss, then get a better one. Now, if there's nothing else... She stands up to her full height.
I'm just waiting on my friend, looking at Thrask.
I'm just kind of like watching the boats as all this is going on, and when I hear that, I just like hop down. Like, all right then, let us be gone.
Alrighty. You guys take off. The door is, as you get past it, very nearly hits you where the good Lord splits you or inserted a tail, depending on which character you're talking about.
If it tries to swing in on me, I would strike it with my scimitar.
You have a scimitar?
Or not scimitar, scythe.
Okay. Yeah, you certainly can. Like, it doesn't outright strike you, and you have enough room to escape it, but it's real close. Tarask almost gets his tail caught. You, like,
yeah, well,
push the door. Honestly, probably
when it is heading.
Good.
When it is heading towards his tail, I would literally strike it. It will not hit him.
And that, I would say probably like the swing of like bringing the scythe back almost as like a doorstop to stop the door from closing is literally all that stops Tarask from getting his tail pinched.
Continue to be rude and I'll be back.
No response. The guards both look at you and kind of just shrug. And actually, could both of you make perception checks, if you would?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Come on, Farron's nearby. Farron's nearby. 28.
Honor, accept the fumble.
Yeah, I'm accepting the fumble. It's a perception check. What am I not going to see? Something hitting me in the back of the head, probably.
Actually, I think I like this random NPC. She'll come back later now. But Tarask and Farron, both, now that they know what they're looking for, both of these individuals are wearing helmets that the side is just like lamellar with steel plates that cover like down here and then around back. The helmet itself has a bit of a brim, a la Kung Lao almost, that goes all the way around, and then there's a steel up, and then like a little boop that comes up the side, a little like horsehair plume that goes up and down, like around the side, like to the back. One of them is a little too short, and you recognize the it kind of looks like a little indention in the guard on the left's head. And it dawns on both... Taras doesn't quite grab it, but Farron does. That was once an eye. That you're seeing the bottom half of the, like, where the eye would sit, and it appears the eye has been gouged out. The second of the two guards, now that you're aware of it, at first it just seemed like the man was flustered, but his skin is actually red to denote his Oni heritage. Both of these two appear to be Oni-spawned tieflings, and you notice now that around both of their ankles there's a little summoning circle. It would appear they're bound as well.
The two individuals we were talking to earlier?
The guards out front, yes.
The guards.
And they're Oni-bound tieflings, huh?
Oni-spawned tieflings bound by the kid today.
At this point, I'm going to stop, turn to look at them. So, she seems to have bounded you.
They both nod very, very slightly. You know what you're looking for, so you see it, but it's almost imperceptible.
At this point, I frown deeply at this, and then look to Honor and say, enough's enough. I feel like we should do something about this.
You certainly could.
Do you wish me to enter combat?
Okay. Can I roll like a knowledge arcana to figure out what's a good way to break these guys out of their bond?
Yeah, certainly.
This is wrong. This is all different types of wrong. 27.
Okay, so that's actually trained, right?
Trained. Yeah, that is trained. I'm trained in all knowledges. I don't know why it says I'm untrained.
It's because you don't have the little point checked beside it.
I have both of the chip points checked beside those skills.
Well, regardless, the 27 is more than good enough. You could certainly unbind them again. It's as easy with the demon in the bar itself. Just a matter of breaking the circle would unbind all of them. The issue becomes the fact that the Kitsune is clearly a very powerful spellcaster, and you would provoke her to release her slaves, basically.
We'll deal with it after the Fire Lord.
And it's around this time that Keelan comes back. Not by herself. She comes back with Hero, who is also taken off as well. You don't notice him at first, because he's lost so much weight. And you guys have too. However, again, he looks considerably worse, but on Hero's back, very slight, leaning forward on his loyal mount's neck, well and truly is your friend. From so long ago, the man who... how old is Tarask, really quickly?
Tarask is only... 14 years old.
Alright, so that would almost,
Well, he has to be at least 18, because you said it was 18 years ago.
No, fair enough, got it. Never mind, I lied then. Oh yeah, because I rolled. I remember that now. Thank you. The Azamar who 18 years ago was born on the same day in the same village that was attacked by the Master of Fire, who you know is Shamsuk, trying to prevent a prophecy from coming to fruition and killing 3 individuals whose naming ceremony would be botched. Hiei sees you both. He comes back. He bows as he dismounts Hero having to help him off because, again, Hiei has lost a lot of weight. He looks really sickly, and the bow, he stumbles as he does so, not because he seems to be cursed, but because his general state, and he has to he leans forward and catches himself on Enru. I'll say Enru being closer to his height to prevent himself from just falling flat out onto the streets. And just, it's good to see the pair of you.
Indeed.
We have much to discuss. You were in the mindscape for almost a month.
What?
There's been events. We should head to the academy. Ardra will wish to speak to you. Her students, her students have just returned with Kradig's body. The Clippeth trapped you in that mindscape. The Clippeth trapped you in that mindscape so they could reach Kradig first. Kradig's dead. Fortunately, two of you have proven to be powerful enough to help us. We no longer need to worry about being named, but Shamsuk has continued to amass power. It would appear that the Clippeth Lords will still come, and rather than ally with anyone, he's taken up residence in an old temple in the Saihu rainforest, and he amasses power. Most of the rainforest has been burned to the ground. The indigenous tribes, the individuals living along the rivers, have been bound, brought back from undeath, or have agreed to serve him. He's beyond reason. His general, and he gets real uncomfortable as he brings up again, you guys would know he's taken Kiyomi and bound her, has caused much suffering. We should return to the academy.
Mm-hmm. Looking to Keelan. Keelan.
Yes?
Would you mind going back to where Kane is? Probably staying with him. We will catch you up after we've spoken with whoever we need to speak with at the academy, but I think we can move a lot faster with it only the three of us.
Understood. I'll be in touch. And she turns, and as she does so, her hair goes from a violet crimson to just like a jet black, not unlike everyone else's hair. She just kind of fades in with the crowd and disappears. The three of you definitely do move a lot faster, with just a horse carrying both Hiei and Tarask and Enru easily able to keep pace. You guys reach the monastery. That Wayang still stands outside, and as he sees all three of you, he gets visibly uncomfortable because he knows he failed once. The line to the monastery is significantly shorter, and you approach him, and he just, Ardra does wish to see you. I'm sorry, I must
We
ask.
have names now.
He leans forward, eyes wide into Tarask's mind, and just, what is your true name?
Tarask.
Good. The little Wayang. You may enter the academy. The door is open.
Looking to him. Anru Kumikinja.
Of course. Hiei, we've spoken. You have no ability to cast, you have no ability to tell us. Hiei nods. Hero just, and I am Hero, and always had a name, and the Wayang rolls its eyes in response to this, and you guys enter the monastery, and that's not a bad stopping point for this episode. So, thank you guys so much for watching on YouTube. If you're on Twitch, remember, we'll be going until 9 tonight. We got 2 more hours in us. If you're on YouTube, well, no matter where you are, you be sure to like and subscribe for more sweet Pathfinder 1st and 2nd edition content, and we'll see you next time. Say bye, boys.
Bye.
Ross says nothing. I think Ross froze, actually. Nope, Ross is moving. We're good.
No, I'm just like, hi.
Say goodbye, rat.
Say goodbye.
Bye.